Welcome to Comfy Habit number 2. This is the last video I'm going to make for now because I need to start typing and I need to start typing ASAP. So, in case you wanted to know why I was filming this early this morning, I may not get a chance to film later. I need to commit to typing, so I'm going to commit to the rest of the day to typing. God willing, nothing else goes wrong today. I've almost been in 2 car accidents before 10 o'clock this morning. Yes! I had to go to the credit union to do a few things and try to fix some things because of helping other people. Now, I have not checked to see how many people I've lost from previous videos from last night, but I know I probably hurt a lot of women's feelings last night in my video. But it needed to be said, and it needs to be done. And for every woman, if I have changed your life for the better, then I am thankful that I did that. If I've pissed you off, but it fixes your life so that you understand that sometimes my fellow male companions will lie to get pussy. And this is something that every girl should be taught by the time she's 11 years old. I know what you're thinking. Why 11 years old? She should be playing with Barbies and Gigapets and shit. I lost my virginity when I was 10 to a 12-year-old girl. It was a trap. I didn't know that that was a thing that existed in a woman's mind, but it can happen to anybody. Alright? I literally thought that the girl broke my dick. Okay. Long story. Hey, I gotta give you guys the whole 1,000. Alright? Yeah, I was 10. She was 12. I didn't fucking know what I was doing. Obviously, something happened to her because she knew what she was doing. So there's that. Now, I want to make sure that I'm clear. I am not against women in any way, shape, or form. Alright? I'm not. In fact, I'm more pro-woman than anything else. Right is right, wrong is wrong. And I know for a fact I have probably pissed off enough women with that video last night. And I want to explain myself because I'm not going to apologize for that video. I may apologize for how I said it, but I'm not going to apologize for what I said because life experience has put me in the position where I have learned that you women aren't as smart as science says you're supposed to be. Now, I'm not calling women dumb. A majority of women are smarter than men by far. But brain smart and common sense smart don't always go hand in foot, regardless of your gender. If you are a woman and you like fucking, my number's up there somewhere. If that's all you want, I'm highly available for that because I don't have a girlfriend. But let's make it 1,000% clear. I have 3 rings over there that I bought for a girl because I wanted to marry her. I had no problem committing. What I had a problem was being smart enough to realize that I was the only one in the relationship for 2 fucking years. Which goes back to women don't really want good men. That's some bullshit that they tell themselves, and when they have a good man, they give him the tip of their boot or the end of a high heel shoe. You can't have it both ways. You can't say you want a good guy but only date bad people and then have babies by bad people, and then you want a good guy to raise your child to be the man or the woman that you should have been. That's how you think. And you should have thought that shit through before you got in bed with a piece of shit. I am not a saint. I am not a saint by far. But I own that shit. I'm not a liar. The problem I had with my ex, and I told her from the fucking jump, and this is something that every man needs to accept, whether you like it or not, you need to accept it. Sorry, I gotta adjust my panda. It's a panda. It's literally a panda. It's my favorite animal, okay? You can judge me if you want. I don't give a shit. It's a panda, alright? You know how if you have a problem with that panda, that's your problem. I have 2. Okay? This one's a little bit cuter. I'm looking for one with legs. Alright? Like a full-on body panda. If I find one, I'm buying it. I don't give a fuck who doesn't like it. It's going to be sleeping in my bed. Alright? Anyway, hey, I'm a straight man. I don't give a fuck. I send warnings, not invitations. If you got a problem, I have an axe. I have no problem dismantling you piece by piece with my hands, but I gotta do something with the body. Anyway, moving on. I honestly, truly have been through a lot of really bad experiences in life because of women. As I was saying, my problem with my ex, and I literally told her this, and I will tell this to any woman. I have been cheated on so many times that I expect you to cheat. I literally expect you to cheat because I don't know what it is about me that I am doing wrong that gives women that thought, hey, I'm just going to go ahead and cheat on him. It's been like that since I started having relationships. Every girlfriend I've ever had. I do not know if my ex cheated. I don't because I never caught her. The two black girls that stopped me from dating black girls, well, one of them literally brought her boyfriend to my father's house, and the other one, her boyfriend, showed up to my father's house and put a gun to my fucking head. So that wasn't cool at all. Now, it wasn't directly at my head, but it was at point blank range. So it was in arm's distance. It wasn't at arm's distance where I could grab the gun like you see in the movies and do something stupid. I'm good, but I'm not stupid. All right? I live in reality. I'm not faster than the bullet, and I'm not faster than the human hand speed. All right, and the hand is quicker than the eye. One twitch and I was gone. And I never dated another black girl since. I was 14, she was 14, he was 26. I've told you guys this story before. I have siblings. Three of my siblings have had babies with men that really weren't worth having babies by. All right, they really weren't. They start off okay, and then their true colors show out. And I tell this to you women all the fucking time. Because just like most women, my sisters believe their friends. Because you find one diamond in the rough, you find one. And if you have a baby with that guy, and he's a real man, and he's a man about being a man, and he's gonna be there for the baby, and he's gonna be there for you, and you marry him, and everything goes on, and y'all live happily ever after, that's a 1 in a million shot. That's a 1 in a million shot. And 9 times out of 10, if it does happen, you're probably the first girl that he's ever been with. You're probably the only girl he's ever been with. And if he was raised properly, y'all can get married and live happily ever after. And if you were raised properly, y'all can get married and live happily ever after. There'll be no cheating. There'll just be you two and the world and that child if you choose to have one. However, that's not reality. That is so far from reality that if you believe that shit, you should be slapped twice with both hands. Pap, 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 pap. Slap, slap, clap, clap. You should be like round the waist smack. They should practice that shit all the way from back here like those slapping contests. Pow! Smack some fucking sense into you. Okay? Or to quote Ramba Saltome in Girl Form, you're going to leave me alone, or I'm going to beat you up. Or my favorite, so you don't want to listen. I'm just going to have to beat it into you. Okay? Or my favorite, what the fuck is her name? From Dynasty Warriors. She said, now I'm serious. And her older sister, I'll beat you up. So, there you go. I love women. Most of the female characters in games, I generally play with them versus playing with a man. You should see me in Tekken when I use Ling Xiaoyu. Well, I'm pretty good with that girl. Anyway, here's the problem. A lot of women are told by other women, if you get pregnant, he's going to stay with you forever. Stop telling your girlfriends that. Women, start telling your daughters that there's nothing wrong with having sex. You don't have to be a whore about it, but you also don't have to get pregnant by every dick that you ride. And just because someone has a good lick game and a big dick game does not mean that that person is going to be a good father. Does not mean that that person is a good human being. That just means they're good at fucking. And if they're good at fucking, don't be seduced by the dick. Because then there's people like me who come into existence. People who never got the chance to have a family. Because we have sisters. Who sleep with people with big dicks and a good lick. I'm 50 years old. 3 of my sisters are the reasons why I never got to go have a family. Why I never got to go live my life. Because they kept having babies with men who were pieces of shit. My life passed me by. 20s, 30s, 40s. I'm 50 years old. I will not live this decade taking care of another goddamn child. This is also why I said I won't date a woman who has children. Especially if she has daughters. I'm not setting myself up for a fucking fail. I'm also going to bring something up real quick. And let's see if Google can find it. I'm going to see. God damn it. Hit the wrong damn thing. Molestation case that was based on a lie in California. Martin Preschool, the Big Martins. Alright. Acquittals in January of 1990 after 3-year testimony of 9 weeks and deliberations by the jury. Peggy McMartin Bakley was acquitted on all accounts. Ray Bakley was cleared on 52 counts of 65 counts and freed on bail after 5 years in jail. Now I need y'all to read the McMartin case because they would later basically clear him. The McMartin story. They made a movie about it, starring James Woods. Indicted, the McMartin trial, the film, television, HBO, came out in 1995. It would later be found out that all the kids lied. Alright? So you guys can do that. Let me bring it back up. Oh, come on. The McMartin trials. McMartin. I fucking hate technology. The McMartin case. I was about to say, I did not say
Manhattan Beach, California. According to Marshall Digital Scholar, Marshall University, the McMartin preschool child abuse case began in 1983 in Manhattan Beach, California, and was one of the most visible cases in history. Although 2 trials were conducted and no convictions were obtained, some individuals continue to believe that dozens of children were sexually abused at the preschool.
Got that? But the problem was they proved that they didn't do it. Alright? They literally proved that they didn't do it. And these people, they went through hell. So, if you think that I am going to date a woman with 3 daughters, so that one of their daughters who might not like me because I don't have any money and I didn't buy a Barbie doll or some shit is going to say I did something to her. I'm not setting myself up for a fail. Again, I apologize for how I said it. I don't apologize for what the fuck I said. But this McMartin shit, go Google it. It's a whole ass reason for men who date women who have daughters to not date women who have daughters. And I am not saying that women aren't raising their kids right. But it don't take but one word from a child. You're done. You're fucking done. Whether you are innocent or not, it doesn't take but one word from a child. And then your ass is done. So yeah, if you are a beautiful woman with children, the only thing you can get from me is sex. We're not dating, and you can only have sex at my house or a sleazy, cheap-ass hotel or a motel. But I'll be damned. You're not bringing your kids around me. We aren't getting married. I'm not giving your kids a chance to do anything near me, with me, or say anything about me. Now, if your kids are well past 21, we can work something out. Because they're well past 21. Alright? But outside of that, nah. Hell nah. If you got it, like, if you have 3 little girls and they're like from 5 to 12 years old, nah, ain't no fucking way I'm coming near your house. Nope. Not a fucking chance. I'm sorry. This video is my evidence. No, we're not doing that. We are not doing that. Fuck that shit. You wanna fuck? We can do that. You wanna fuck? We're gonna fuck at a hotel. We're gonna fuck at my house. We're gonna fuck anywhere on God's green earth, but I'm not coming near your house. I'm not coming near your kids. I'm sorry. You can take that any way you fucking want, but I'm not being accused of doing shit. And I know you're all thinking, well, Echo, why you like this? Why you like this? McMartins. McMartins. Right there. Some people are innocent. Some innocent people are forced to go to prison for shit that they didn't commit because of the conviction rate of, well, one, skin tone. There are more black people who have done absolutely fucking nothing, and their lives are ruined because somebody said something, and because of racial stereotypes, and we all look alike. More people of color who look like me and look like other black gentlemen are sitting in prison right now for shit they ain't do. Guarding their assholes because no one gonna believe a prisoner. No one. The Innocence Project has helped a few times, but it doesn't undo the fact that this motherfucker done lost 20 fucking years of their life sitting behind bars. Innocent as fuck. DNA has cleared people. Doesn't change the shit that happened to them in prison. Doesn't change the fact that they may have been sexually assaulted even though they didn't do a damn thing to not one child, but somebody with a badge told somebody in the general population, this guy right here, he's arrested for raping some children. Man might have never touched the damn child, but now all the inmates done fucked him up the ass because somebody with a badge, because your files should be confidential. No one should ever know what the fuck you're in prison for unless you tell them yourself. But somehow or another, they have prisoners who are clerks, and sometimes they get to eyeball some shit that ain't supposed to happen. Well, y'all think I'm stupid? I was in the army. I got to eyeball some shit that I probably shouldn't have seen. I didn't read the shit, but I got to see shit when I was putting in mail stuff. I was like, okay, this doesn't look right, but it goes to a general. I'm just gonna put that up here in this box because it says general. Now whatever the fuck was in that box, I have no fucking idea. But if it said top secret and it said general, the general got the fucking top box on the left. All right, they go by the chain of command. All of your highest ranking officers were on shelves that I could barely reach. All right, but like I said, it doesn't take much. It doesn't take much. Wrong person, right eyeballs, big mouth. You in prison for some shit you ain't done? You ass fucked. So again, women, you have to be careful at who you are fucking, who you are having babies with, and who your girlfriends are. Yeah, your girlfriend and her husband, they may have the perfect marriage from the outside. You're not there 24 hours. Every relationship has its issues. Everyone. Everyone. My girlfriend and I, before we broke up, when we first met, after I got back from Canada, had sex a few times, had sex a lot, went back to a few times, went back to almost never. And then when we did have sex, it was all about me licking instead of sticking. And I say this with my full chest, I could lick and lick for hours. And then, okay, no, we're not doing it. I was like, we just getting started. Yeah, I'm done. It's like, what? Well, I done came 3 times. My dick's still hard as a rock. Can I stick it in? Nope. Okay. I rolled the fuck over him. Lay the fuck down. Mad as hell. She said no. I put my back to her and put the pillow between us because she always slept naked. And I was like, look, you can't keep doing this. When I'm here, if we're not having sex, please sleep with clothes on. My house, I sleep how I want. Okay, cool. No. As the relationship drew towards a closer to an end, we had sex even less. And it was more like she was having sex, I won't have sex. Alright? And when I say that, it was more like I'm licking the box, but I'm not dicking the box. Alright? So that was some frustrating ass shit. So our last night together, we went to go see whichever Twilight broke us up. Alright? Whichever Twilight broke us up, we went to go see that Twilight. We had great sex that night, and the next day, we were done. You know who didn't know that? This guy. I got some rings because we were 1 week away from our anniversary, and I was going to get on my knees and give her these motherfucking rings. I know you're thinking, you got rings? You got rings? What rings? This was the actual ring for her finger because this one actually fit after talking to her friend and getting the right size. Alright? Which the average woman, this is a size 7. It's written on the box. Size 7. This was the gag ring because I'm a martial artist. And this was the first ring. It's too big. It's like a 8 or a 9. Doesn't really matter. I will never do this again. Ever. Ever, ever. Fuck that shit. I will never, ever, ever, ever do that shit again. Never. Unless some miracle happens and God brings the flawlessly beautiful and dangerously sexy Zeta Zhang into my life, I will never, ever buy another girl another ring. Nah. Because I deserve better than that shit. So when we broke up the next day, I went to work. I didn't know we were breaking up. And before I went to work, I told her, I'm going to come back. I'm going to help you clean the apartment. Because that's generally what I did. Almost every weekend, I kept her apartment clean. You can tell by how messy my room is, but I am actually a clean freak. I have OCD. So, here I am. It's tea, goddammit. Okay? It's tea. I only drink tea. and Gatorade. Lipton and Gatorade, they should give me a contract. And if they do, the first place I want to go on is The View. Anyway, moving on. So I went through all that shit. And I was ready to, like, commit. Full commit. Ready to get married. 36 years old. Ready to go. She was 29. 9-year age difference could have been the problem. Lots of things could have been the problem. I wasn't the problem. I did everything right. I barely raised my voice at her. When we fought, even when I was in the right, I apologized. And here's the problem. We didn't fight. She fought. She fought with me over shit that I was like, you fighting over something that you did to yourself. And she's like, no, I didn't. And I was like, yeah, you did. Then she would find out that she did it. So she was at least woman enough to apologize quite a few times. And then there was 2 times that she fucking put her hands on me. I didn't put my hands on her. Never put my hands on her. I barely rose my voice at her. So the first time we were at a bridal shop. So I'm thinking, oh, bridal shop. She want to get married. Okay, I want to get married. No, I want to be that husband. I want to be that motherfucker, yo. And yeah, I didn't know it wasn't gonna happen. So her favorite animals were pigs. So and puppies. I wasn't gonna buy her a real dog because I know how the lack of responsibility happens with people when you get puppies. I also know that when you have a girlfriend and y'all get a puppy in which y'all share, that breakup is like the worst. Especially if you're the one stuck with the damn dog. Nope, that won't gonna happen. I wasn't gonna buy her a dog and then stuck with a damn dog that I don't want because I'm not a pet person. If I gotta have a pet, it's gonna be a goldfish or a cat. Alright? And let me explain that for people who don't like cats. Cats won't shit in their own yard. And if they do, cats will dig a hole and bury their shit. Dogs aren't that damn intelligent. High maintenance, and you have to carry a baggie everywhere. With a cat, that motherfucker will dig a hole and shit in that hole and then cover that shit back up. Dogs don't do that shit. Not at fucking all. Goldfish, you can look at them all damn day. All you need is a filter and an algae eater, and that tank will be fine for at least 2 years before you have to change that shit. Alright? You'll be fine. Unless you get those goldfish that can actually jump out of water. Yes, I've had that. But anyway, moving on. I bought her plastic puppies so that she could have them forever. One was a pug and one was something else. I bought her little model dogs because she had Cocker Spaniels or Springer Spaniels or whatever. Bought her those because she liked dogs. But I wasn't going to buy her a real dog. I bought her a pig. Like a little tiny stuffed pig. 2 of them. Because we happened to be at the Alakazam shit. But back to the bridal shop. I asked her a question. She popped me dead in the face. Just came right out of nowhere. Pow! Slapped the shit out of my ass. I was like, okay. I'm going to let that go. I'm a martial artist. I can take a hit. I knew I could take a hit. Because when she was done, she was shaking her hand. I was like, feel better? She's like, what? I was like, yeah, you think I've never been hit in the face before? I got hit in the face a lot. I've been fighting since I was 6 fucking years old. I know I could take a hit, goddammit. Now, at one point in time, I thought I couldn't take a hit anymore. But that was before her. So there's that. But we found out, yeah, I can still take a hit to the face. Same side, actually. Long story. So, a couple of months went by. We went down to her friend's house down in, where the fuck was it? Crozet. We were down in Crozet. And her friend got to talking about our sex life. And I was there, just in the room. Her friend's boyfriend was there, and he went off to his room to take some medicines or whatever. And I had my nunchucks in the car. And the car door was unlocked and the windows was down. And she got to talking about our sex life, and I was like, hey, I'm sitting right here. Why is it okay for you to talk about our sex life with your friends, but it's not okay for me to talk about our sex life with mine? And again, from the backyard, pow! Slapped the shit out of me again. I raised my hand up and I said, okay, look, that's the second and the last goddamn time you better put your motherfucking hands on me. I don't know who you were with before, but I was raised not to hit women. But you were fucking pushing it. And then I left. And I went and got my nunchucks out the car. And I went down into a gully and I started beating the fuck out of trees. And I was swearing and cussing and all kinds of things. I never said anything bad about it. I just said, I can't believe this dumbass girl don't put her hands on me again. And so I'm beating the fuck out of trees with my nunchucks. But before I left, I also told her, I'm walking the fuck home. He's like, what? I said, yeah, I'm walking the fuck home. I don't give a fuck. You can stay here if you fucking want to. I made 2 lefts coming in this motherfucker. I'll make 2 rights going out. I didn't know where the fuck I was at. But I knew once I got back to the fucking highway, it's a straight stretch all the way the fuck back home. You'll always know your way home. Don't give a fuck where you at. Remember the roads that you're on and know your way the fuck back home. It'll save your life to remember and take note of every turn you make while you're in the car. So, I got out of the gully and I said, maybe I better go apologize. Even though I wasn't in the wrong, I started walking back up to her friends and her boyfriend's house. And she come driving along. And I came and I said that I was sorry. And then she said she was sorry. We did have sex that night. And then sex started going downhill from there. It was all about her. It was never about me anymore. Now, if I had been wise enough to wake up right then and there, after that second slap, I should have ended the relationship. But I was so deadfully in love because had I not met her, I would have committed suicide because that's where I was going. And I know you guys probably are like, you are so off topic. Nah, I'm right on time. I'm right on time. You just have to be paying attention to everything that I said. This goes back to why I said about women having babies with motherfuckers that don't want to have babies with them. I wanted a baby with her. I wanted to marry her. I wanted to be that man to break the generational cycle of my family of siblings being with people and not being with people. Having baby mamas and all that. Nah, I won't down for that. I literally told her when I met her, look, I'm trying to get married. I had a meeting with her father before we broke up. And he didn't like how I said it because she wasn't 30 and I was 36. Well, I was 35 turning 36 at that point in time. By the time the second slap came around, I was 36. You know, not knowing that the relationship was right around the corner from getting cut, slammed the fuck off. So, I spoke to her father and I said, yo, sir, I want to marry your daughter. Because she had went in the house somewhere and he said, I need to have a talk with you. I said, all right. So we both sitting down. What's your intention with my daughter? I said, I have nothing but good intentions with your daughter. I would like to marry your daughter if that's okay with you. Now, her father was not her biological father. He was a white dude. She was Korean. This motherfucker ain't want nothing to do with me. Alright? Nothing. God rest his soul. He's a dead man now, but he ain't want nothing to do with me. And he won't lie about it. So I don't think you should be marrying my daughter. Right off the box. Yeah. Rightfully so, I was upset. I was upset like a motherfucker. Well, I didn't show him that. I was upset. So, I'm like, alright, cool. And I didn't go into is it because I'm part black? And I thought about it for a second. And it's like, alright, so what is it about me that you don't want me with your daughter? I have a job. It's not a great paying job, but I have a job. It's honest work. I'm not robbing anybody. I have 2 jobs, actually, because I started working at TJ Maxx right there after. It's like, so I have 2 jobs, So I have income. It ain't your income, because you're a fucking professor, But I have a job. But no man will ever be good enough for another man's daughter. Alright? Learning that the hard way with that, So I was like, alright, look, I don't know what else you want from me. I have 2 jobs. I said, I'm not afraid to have 3 jobs if necessary. But I'm not a rich man. I'm an honest man. There is a difference. Some people say you can't be both, and I disagree. You can be a rich and honest man. You just got to choose your battles carefully. Well, anyway, after that shit, we went back to her apartment. And I talked to her. I was like, your daddy don't like me, right? She's like, my daddy likes everybody. I said, no, your daddy pleases people to keep peace. I said, well, what did y'all talk about? I told him I wanted to marry you. He's like, and what did he say? He said, It's like, well, I said, y'all will talk about it later, but he said, And so, obviously, that may have had something to do with the breakup. But instead of her being woman enough to say something to me, she didn't. I tried to win her back. She, instead of talking to me like an adult, talked to her father. Him and I had a meeting, and he told me that I need to just leave her alone, let her go. If it's meant to be, she'll come back to you. It won't meant to be. And here's the thing. What I could have dealt with, because it's happened before, I'd rather you slap me in the face with the truth. Hey, look, you're part black. I'm a white man raising a Korean daughter. If she marries a Korean, I'm okay with that. If she marries a white boy, I'm okay with that. If she marries a half black, half native, half white dude, no. I don't want my daughter to have mixed babies. Hey, I'm a grown ass man. It's really your daughter's decision. But if that's what you and your daughter decide, I would rather you say that to my fucking face than sit here and find any way other than the truth. You know? And it gets worse. It gets worse because like after his daughter and I broke up, and I had noticed a canoe because I had to go to his house to have the meeting. I said, "Oh, you got a canoe? Why?" The why will always be an unknown answer. Oh, you like canoes? Man, I'm part native. Yes, I like canoes. So he's like, you can come in canoe anytime you want. Why lie? Why do people lie? Just tell the fucking truth. Dude, you can't come canoe. You know, you're my girlfriend's ex. You're my daughter's ex. You can't come canoe at my house. You can't. So let me tell y'all how stupid in love I was with this girl. And this is why I say women don't want men. They don't want good men. They want pieces of shit. And then they have babies with pieces of shit. And they expect people like me, who used to be good men, to come along, tag along, and raise their children. Yet they don't want to give us children. Our good qualities aren't good enough. But a person who calls the girls bitches, whores, sluts, prostitutes, all these bad names, these are the motherfuckers these women go after. And I'm sorry if you're a female and I'm hurting your feelings again. I'm not sorry for how I said it. Okay, no, I am sorry for how I said it. I'm not sorry for what the fuck I said. I bought a bunch of magic rocks, I think that's what they call. You put them in aquariums. And I spelled out her name in the words, I love you, take me back. And that shit stayed there for like a day or two. And they went to the property at the water and kicked the shit in the water. I bought more. Put it up there. And I had like the rocks that were like shaped like doves. But they're glass or crystal. If I had one, I could show it to you. But they're all at the bottom of the James River. So I placed them all there with her name and put that there. Now, I'm going to tell you something. I will never let myself fall in love like this ever the fucking ever. I'm fairly strong. I literally went to the James River and found the biggest fucking rocks I could. Spelled out her whole fucking name in the river where there's an island by the property that they have by the river in Scottsville. Her whole first name, her middle name, and her last name. And then the words, I love you. All in these big rocks, bigger than my fucking arm. Moved every fucking one of them. Lined them up in her name. Like, the biggest ones was her name. The smallest ones was the words, I love you. They're probably still there. Now, I'm pretty sure evolution and erosion has probably either washed over top of them. Because those rocks aren't moving. I can tell you that right now. Those rocks were this big. They're not moving. They're not moving. So, oh, I'm so ashamed. Anyway, yeah, they're that big. I put all the rocks with her name, her very first name, not her Korean name, but her American name. I put it right there, lined it all the way up in front of this island that's like right there across from the steps at her property. at the river in Scottsville. They were still there the last time I had went to Scottsville. And then, that was like not too long after having a talk with her father in Scottsville. And then I had another talk with her father at his job because he summons me there, and he was a university professor. And I was like, look, man, I got the message the first time. Well, you can't be down at the river putting rocks and shit in her name. I said, I can do whatever the fuck I want. I can't be on your property, but I can be in the river. The river belongs to everybody. It's like, yeah, you got me there. I said, I know I got you there. I'm part native. The river belongs to everybody. No tribe has ever taken a complete and total control over the river. All right? So, after that, we had our conversation, and I left and never looked back. About a year and a half went by, and I think not even that. No, because I think like maybe 6 months after we broke up, because we broke up in July, August, September, October, November, December. Yeah, January. So by January, I had already made up my mind. I'm going to the military. I said, I'm not going to keep going through this bullshit. And I went to the military. I got out of the military. And I had a moment of weakness. Like, because before I went to the military, I literally bought her a bouquet of flowers with some pigs in it. And I instructed the lady to deliver it on this day to this address in Scottsville. And I guess it made it. I don't fucking know. I don't give a fuck. Because prior to that, I had bought her all these things: a cat and dog, a pair of dogs, like they look like the Springer Spaniel dogs, salt shakers. They're probably in this closet. I bought her a whole bunch of stuff, and her dad sent it back to me, which is how I also got the note that I had to meet him when he summons me for the second time to his house. But the second time we were at his job. So that's how I got all that shit. And I was like, well, I gave that shit to her. It was supposed to be for her. It wasn't supposed to ever come back to me. It was supposed to be for her because it was love. Well, obviously, he kept her from getting the shit because he wrapped it all up and gave it back to me and sent me a summons letter. So after that, then I was like, all right, fuck it. I'm going to the Army. Got out of the Army, had a moment of weakness on her birthday. I think she would have been turning 30 or 31. And so I sent her 2 love songs and 2 text messages. And you know what I got in return? A date with the judge, buddy. Because she sent me a warrant for my arrest for harassment. I've never had a criminal record before. And now that's on there forever. A harassment charge. There's no statute of limitation for harassment. There's no statute of limitation for stalking. There's no statute of limitation for rape and murder. Or there might be a statute of limitation for rape because I'm in Virginia. I don't know what that is. But I never raped anybody. So I never will know because I'm never going to rape anybody. But harassment. So when they go by my government name and say, oh, you have a harassment charge. I didn't know that you can get in trouble for sending 2 text messages and 2 love songs. So I'm sitting in court, and I know what you're thinking. This has nothing to do with what you were saying. Oh, it has everything to do with what I'm saying. Every fucking thing. Everything. This goes back to proving that women don't want good men. Alright? You say that bullshit, but you don't. You don't. I'm sorry. You don't. And I'm not sorry for what I said. I'm sorry for how I'm saying it. I done sent this girl 2 love songs and 2 text messages. And I'm sitting in court for trying to win her back. I didn't stalk her. I didn't know where she worked. And I didn't know where she lived. Because after we broke up, she moved from 1021 King Street. She moved. I know this because I talked to her roommates because I was like, look, I want to give her the stuff. And it's like, well, you can't because she doesn't live here, which is how I had to send her shit to her house down in Scottsville. because she moved from 1021 King Street out of fear of me, which I would never have ever brought harm to her. She's physically brought harm to me twice, and I've never so much as raised my voice at her. All right? So, hey, am I mad? Oh, because karma doesn't forget an address. This is why I don't bother anybody. Karma does not forget an address. Ever. So every bad thing that you do to a person, every bad thought that you have of a person, that shit builds up karma. That's why I can't wear Crocs. Because I've laughed the fuck out of everybody wearing Crocs and they go down. Oh, we're just going to put it in sports mode. That shit doesn't help you. I've seen people in sports mode go down. Yeah, sports mode. That's the ultimate joke for Crocs. Yeah, good luck with that. You're going to die in those damn things. But I'm not, because I'm not going to buy that shit. It's okay. So we're getting in court. And then I'm sitting in court, and the judge is looking for her. There's a bunch of white girls. Her name sounds white. And say, is she here? I say, no, sir, she's not here. But this is her name. So she's not white. She's actually Korean. She has an American name and a Korean name. It's like, oh, okay. So I didn't get to hear the songs. But this thing says you are harassing her. You sent her 2 text messages and 2 love songs. I didn't get to hear the songs. I'm sure you're probably a good singer. He has no idea how horrible of a singer I am. So we got to talking. And he says, I read those messages, man. Honestly, you haven't threatened her in any way, shape, or form. I said, you don't threaten the people that you love, Your Honor. He said, I know. So this is the hard part for you. All right? You're going to have to let her go. And you let her go, and you stay the fuck away from her for as long as possible. For the rest of your life, if possible, you let her fucking go. Now, you got a grown-ass man in jail. I'm not in jail. I'm in court. I should have been in all 3. It felt like I was in church praying that I don't go to jail. But I was in court. And I'm crying my ass off, yo. I mean, I literally am bawling. And the drill sergeant says, yeah. Drill sergeant, god damn it. The judge says, yeah, I understand this, so I'm going to try to do you the biggest favor I possibly can. I can't arrest you because you haven't threatened her. I read the text messages, so you definitely have not threatened her. As the only thing you've done is told her how much you love her. I read the text messages. I said, wait. He's like, yeah, those are some very long text messages. Son, what happened? And I was like, Your Honor, if I knew what happened, we wouldn't be having this conversation. Because I can accept the breakup if it's done properly. Fuck you, James. I don't want to see you anymore. That would have been great. Here's why I don't want to see you. I didn't get that. What I got was relationships are overrated and you can't come see me anymore. Now, this is what's wrong. This is how we fix this. If it can be fixed. I wasn't even given a chance to fix it. But how can you fix something that's not broken? I'm not cheating on her. She's not cheating on me to my awareness. I go to work. I go to her house. I go back to work. I spent more time with her than I spent in life with any other girlfriend I ever had. No. It wasn't like I was being clingy, but if she called me, I was there. Without question. I was there. I got up at 3 o'clock in the morning with no car, walked to her house twice in one night. Didn't even get sex. And I gave the judge the entire relationship in a nutshell. And then he's like, all right, look, I can't arrest you. But, well, technically, I can't put you in jail because you didn't threaten her. So, this is what you're going to do. You're going to stay as far away from this girl as possible. Wherever you took her on dates, you can't go there anymore. If you walk through the park, you can't go there anymore. If you took her near your grandmother's house, you can't go there anymore. Anywhere that you've taken her in the city of Charlottesville, you can't go there anymore. Those are her places now. I was a prisoner in my own home for the better part of 5 years because it was the only place I could go that I took her that I have no choice to be. You know, I have to live at home. You know? So everywhere I went to go film my independent films, I took her. She was on the set quite a few times actually when we were filming stuff. And that put a lot of shit that I had planned on hold, except for like my Spider-Man Scarlet Spider film that's somewhere over there. Um, you know, because I filmed most of that at work in the park behind my house. There's a trail back there. Everything I filmed in the trail back there, in parks behind my grandmother's house and shit like that. So I couldn't go anywhere. I could go to the flea market, but I had to be real careful because she took me to the flea market. The first time we ever went to a flea market was like the last time because then she just didn't want to go anymore. I had been going to the flea market ever since she had took me there until the judge happened to have it. So when I would go to the flea market, I would go bright and early because she's not an early morning person. And this is where shit goes from 0 to 100. I bought a gift for her every year we were apart until I was in court. Alright? I still have those gifts just sitting in the car with the pig. Because I had bought her a pet pig pillow when the pillow pets came out. And I just never got to give it to her. Because we broke the fuck up. So, in closing, for that entire saga, we had started talking again, like last year, like when I graduated. Like a month before I graduated, actually. And I'll tell you about that before I end the video. Which will give you like some insight onto why I'm fucked up. Just a little bit. So, let's see. How can I word this shit? I thought that I could win her back. I wrote love songs, everything. Nothing happened. My dad was my only support system. Everybody was like, oh, just let her go. Just let her go. You don't need her. This, and whatnot. Calling her all kinds of stuff. And I would defend her. I would defend her. And I would defend her. And like I said, after we got into court, you know, I had a rough time. It was a real rough breakup, yo. It was rougher for me than any breakup I've ever had because I didn't love her with my heart. I loved her with my soul. And that was a fucking problem. Alright? Not for her. It's a problem for me, though. And so, you know, I finally reached fuck it. I go where the fuck I want. If I see her before she sees me, I'll just make sure I get the fuck out of sight so that she can't see me. Good thing I have ninjutsu training. Okay? We're not going to go there. That's not important. I do have ninja training. I would not say I'm a ninja, but I do have ninja training. Okay? Ninjutsu is real. It's just not it's not like you see in the movies. It's kind of like you see in the movies, but there's some twist to that shit. You know, I'm not wearing crickets in my pocket. I don't like bugs, so that's not even a fucking option. But I'm also not real fond of wearing black. So there's that. But anyway, most of the time, ninja suits became a thing in Japan. Ninjutsu actually started in China, and most of the times you just wore regular ass clothes, and no one knew you were a ninja until it was too late. Anyway, moving on. So, I reached fuck it, and I said, I'm not going to continue to not be able to film. I'm not going to continue to not go where I want to go, because I can't, out of fear that if I meet her, she's going to call the police, and then I'm going to be back in court, because the judge said, no fucking contact. Do not contact her parents. Do not contact any friends in which y'all share. So that made it difficult. It's one of the friends in which we share. She's a good girl. You know, I didn't want to lose our friendship, but I had to explain to her, I can't talk to you. I said, because the judge said that I can't talk to you because you're a friend in which her and I share. And so it's like, wait, well, fuck that. I'll talk to you. I said, hey, you can call me, but I can't call you back. And there was a lot of other red tape stuff that goes with that. So that goes into the later on part of this video. I go about life, you know, filming, thinking about suicide, got some military help, started cosplay. Shout out to Courtney Monroe because I lost the bet, pretty much. Yeah, it was a deal because I didn't know Courtney cosplayed, and I went to these cons, but I never dressed up. And once I started dressing up, it was like drugs. I have to dress up now. It's just no way I'm not gonna dress up for cosplay, unless I'm like under a contract where, like, let's say tomorrow my book drops. It's not. But let's say tomorrow American Kona Weiss drops, and Page Publishing is like, okay, look, your life is about to change. This first 100 books, you're gonna be at this place at this time. We're flying your ass there, and you're gonna be signing these fucking books. There's 200 of them. You're going to sign them, and people are going to buy them. You're going to have to sit there and sell them. It's like, that wasn't the deal. But how about we do this? You sell the books, and I'll go to the place, and all the books that you give me are free. And they pay $5 for a signed book. It's like, work it out. I'll figure it out, because I don't think that you should ever have to pay a certain amount of money to any celebrity for any reason whatsoever. There's a long story behind that, and it was like one of the first times I cosplayed and I had dressed up. No, I think I dressed up. We're not going to swear to it, but it was a very big star, and let's just say it was $65 to take a picture with him or to buy a signed picture. That was the same year that I met my crush, the flawlessly beautiful and dangerously sexy Zeta Zhang. And this star, he was a dick. Alright? She let me get a picture for like $10. $10. So I was like, okay. I kind of fell in love with it right then and there, but hey, it is what it is. Snowball's chance in hell. But I'm an iceberg. Anyway, so that my next year I had dressed up. He's like, we're gonna do this every year that we can, but you're gonna dress up. It's like, man, I'm not gonna dress up for this shit. I tell you what, if we do this next year, if you dress up, I promise you it will change your life. I was like, man, who the fuck am I gonna be? It's like, you like Spider-Man? Be Ben Riley. I was like, I don't have a costume. I got you. Let me go price it, and then we'll talk. So he priced it. I bought the vest myself, and he ordered the outfit with the muscles and everything on it, and I gave him the money for it. And I bought some red rustling shoes, and sure as fuck, it was the best time of my life. I never felt so much love in my fucking life. Ever. Ever, ever. I got the pictures somewhere. And then we did it again. And then COVID hit, so we missed one. And then we did it again, and I was Miguel O'Hara. I love cosplay. It has saved my life. I know, irrelevant. Okay, so this goes back to women don't want good men. And the whole reason why I say that with my full chest is because the fucking shit is true. And I've been talking for almost an hour, so we're going to end this video really soon. Alright, so last year, before I graduated, because I'm not supposed to have any contact with my ex whatsoever. She's allowed to contact me. I'm not allowed to contact her. So, I have exams, and I had to pass this math test. I have to pass this math class, and I passed this shit with a fucking C, which fucked me up because I didn't think I was doing any good at all in this class. And then I have to thank the two classmates, Sam and his girlfriend. I don't know why I can't remember his girlfriend's name, but I can remember Sam because I have Uncle Sam. Thank you, Sam, and thank you to your girlfriend as well, because we were in this class with he has a Spanish name, but he's a teacher who lives in Crozet. So thank you to you, Sue, also, sir, because I wouldn't have got my degree without passing your class, and it was the last class I had to take. Thank God it was the last class I had to take. And thank you, David, for putting me in that class, because that class was compatible for what I needed, because I had to have a math class, and I couldn't pass any other math class, but they worked it out. Thank you, David. Thank you, David. Thank you, David. David is David Lieberman. He was my counselor. Best guy, man. And thank you to Miss Jackie Fisher, and thank you to my bro. Well, I can't think of your name right now. Oh my God, I can't think of his name. I'm sorry. Andre. Thank you to Mr. Andre Locke. I'm sorry, Andre. It was gone. It was gone, but it came back. It was gone. Old timer's disease. Anyway, so the night before my exam, I had this fucking dream. And I dreamed that my ex and I and our friend, we were all out in the woods for some reason. Now, I'm going to tell you some fucked up ass shit. I hadn't thought about that girl in fucking forever. Didn't think about her. Could care two shits. The only thing I thought was, I hope she's happy. I hope she's living up a great life. I hope she's fine. Give a flying fuck what she's doing. I hope she's good. I have no ill will towards her. And I hope she's living the best fucking life she can. She destroyed mine, but I have no ill will. I hope she's fine. No, everything is fine. I have things that I can do. I have Mass Effect. I have cosplay. I have things that I can do. I have TikTok. I'm thinking to myself, okay, I'm never going to see her or hear from her again. Good to go. Boom! Sleeping. Dreaming. I'm like, what the fuck? I woke up mad as fuck. You understand me? I woke up mad and I looked up at God and said, why the fuck are you letting me dream about this damn girl? I don't want nothing to do with her. She done already got me in trouble with the law. I don't need to have no contact. I said, I don't need to be told, well, one time. And I won't be fucking up no goddamn law. So I went to school. You know, took my final exam. Said goodbye to everybody. Thanked Sam and everything. And I started worrying because there was no way in hell that I felt that I passed that test. There's no way. I was like, there's no way in hell I passed this test. And Sam was like, you need to stop worrying so much. I was like, bro, you in your 20s. I'm 49. I can't help but worry because this isn't the life I wanted. You know, I had my life planned out before people just started fucking it up. He's like, you got this, man. You got this. And I still thank Sam. When I see Sam again, I will be thanking him again because he's still a student at PVCC, I think. Don't know, but thank you, Sam. If you ever see this video, thank you. And thank you to your girlfriend. So, I get home. You know, because now it's just a waiting process to see if I am going to graduate. All right, which I did. My degrees are in that dresser right there. Anyway, the police science was the last thing I had. I had already got the criminal justice certificate like a year and a half before. So I was like, oh, okay. I didn't think anything about it, you know. So I didn't worry about it, you know. Got my shit. I'm good, you know. So then, like, I think it was like 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. I don't know what time it was, but my phone rang. And it's our friend, the one that me and my ex share. And she's calling me. I was like, do you know who this is? I said, yeah, I know who you are. She's like, are you sure? I said, yeah, I know who you are. I haven't forgotten you. I haven't contacted you for legal reasons. I decided to just, you know, pray that you're okay and hopefully you're living well. And so she goes, you know, your ex-girlfriend? I was like, I would prefer not to talk about that. Thank you. She's like, why? I said, well, one, I'm never going to allow myself to fall in love with her again. She destroyed me. I was saying, and worse than that, she also made it illegal for me to have any kind of contact with her whatsoever. I'm not allowed to talk to her. I'm not allowed to text her. I'm not allowed to see her. And she's like, you know how long that's been? I said, do you know why I am in college? He's like, no, why are you in college? Police science and criminal justice. It's like, oh. I said, yeah, oh. The judge said, no contact. I don't break the rules. I've never broken rules a day in my life. I've bent them, but I haven't broken them. All right? And he's like, what? I said, yeah, hey, if the police tells you one time not to do something, most men aren't stupid enough to do it again. Now, there are some men that just are glutton for punishment. I'm not one of those dudes. Now, if you talk about being a glutton for punishment in martial arts, oh God, yeah. Oh yeah. I'm ready to get kicked in the face. I love that shit. I'm ready to rumble at all times. Drop of a hat. Let's go. You know, you want to spar? All right. I'm probably going to lose, but hey, let's go. And then again, I'm probably going to win. Anyway, moving on from that. So she's like, well, she's sitting beside me. I will tell her I said hi. She's like, you can tell yourself. No. She's like, what? I said, look, the judge said no contact. All right? I just got my life together. I am not going back to court. I say, I will always have love for her. but I will never let myself be in love with her ever the fuck again. I hope she's happy. I hope she's married. I hope she's living a great fucking life. My life is not great. I am not happy, but I am alive. I'm doing okay for myself. Maybe not financially. I'm hopefully going to graduate college, but I'm doing okay. He's like, well, that shit shouldn't have it. That shit should be over with by now. And I said, no. The judge said, no fucking contact. I said, do you know how long I've been a prisoner in my own home because of her? I said, I will always have love for her, but I will never, ever, ever allow myself to fall in love with her ever the fuck again. If she wants some sex, she can only come to my house to get it, because I'm not going anywhere near her. And as much as I love you, I'm not going anywhere near you, because I know things can change and women generally side with women before they side with men. So, no thank you. It's like, well, that's too bad. I said, well, last time I checked, she had a boyfriend and she was living in Scottsville or Crozet. It's like, well, she doesn't have a boyfriend and she's not living in Scottsville. I said, okay, well, that's good. I don't need to know where she's living. And if she doesn't have a boyfriend, I'm sorry. It's like, well, do you have a girlfriend? I said, hell no. I said, you think I didn't learn my lesson the first motherfucking time with a girl? It's like, I said, if anything, I said, the only thing that I'm ever going to ever have again is probably going to be a situationship. I said, but I'm not doing any more girlfriends. I said, no, I will not be going to jail for falling in love with somebody. I will not be going to jail for trying to win somebody back. I said, I wrote this girl 55 love songs. And then I wrote her 25 more. It's like, no, hell no. She's like, well, you need to show us proof. I said, I'll tell you what. Give me a day or two. So the next day, I called downtown and they printed me out a copy of my record or my harassment charge, and I took a shot of it. I got it in that dresser somewhere. I came back, I took a shot of that picture, and I sent it to the friend in which my ex and I share. And it's still on the books. It has not gone anywhere. It says, as of current, this is still a charge pending. That if I fuck up, if I go see her, if I communicate with her, I get locked up for this shit. Which goes back to what I said. You women, you don't want good men. You don't. You pretend to want good men. And yet you constantly pick pieces of shit. You have babies with pieces of shit. And then you want good men to come in and raise that child that you had with that piece of shit that you should not have had with that piece of shit in the first fucking place. But then you get mad when good men don't want to date you because you have children. A child is a full-time commitment. It's not a fucking joke. You can't break it back down to the sperm and the egg where it came from and put it back in the places where they came from. That is a living being. So, the moral of the story is that y'all don't want good men. I'm sorry. Y'all do not want good men. You throw good men to the side like yesterday's panties and old tampons. Y'all don't want good men. Most of y'all just want a man. And a man who will talk to you and treat you like dog shit. Somewhere in the back of your mind, the switch ain't clicking because one of your parents fucked you up and didn't raise you right. And you don't want good men. You don't. You really don't. Think about all the boyfriends you had and all the boyfriends you should have had versus what you got. A lot of women don't ever want to take responsibility for the choices that they make. But when it comes down to you having a baby with a piece of shit, that's the choice you make. I can't make that choice for a woman. I'm not a woman. You don't want to have kids with me? Hey, I'm okay with it. I'm 50. I'm not having kids now. I'm over it. I'm over it. But I'm not going to die raising somebody else's kids. That's just not going to be an option. No. Fuck that shit. I'm going to end it with this. Because one of my bros and I had this discussion because I don't have a legacy. And he said, they don't have to be yours to be yours. And I said, you are right. They don't have to be mine by blood to be mine. So there's just one little problem with that. I don't want to be with someone who doesn't want to be with me. I don't want to be attached to their child who doesn't want to be with me. I don't want to fall in love with somebody's kid and raise it as mine just to have that woman take that child from me and for me to never be able to see or engage in conversation with that child. I can do bad by my motherfucking self. I don't need to be hurt and hurt somebody else who isn't mine but wants to be mine. And you should never, under any circumstances whatsoever, ever, ever lie to your fucking child. Ever. You should never do that. I was lied to as a child. Alright? I forgave my mom for those lies. My dad hopefully forgave me for calling him a lying son of a bitch before he passed. Women don't want good men. I'm sorry. Y'all don't. And you are generally misled by one of your other girlfriends who found a good man, and just because it worked out for her doesn't mean it's going to work out for you. The world doesn't play fair, and the world does have favorites, and guess who's not on that list? Me and some of you who have had babies with pieces of fucking shit. That's a choice you gotta make. Right from wrong. Just because you love somebody doesn't mean you should give them a baby. It really doesn't, especially if they don't love you. A baby's not going to strengthen your bond. If anything, it's going to make it worse. I wanted a baby with my ex. I really did, all-heartedly. Then I found myself on the other side of a court system. A side that I never thought I'd be on. I had speeding tickets. Who hasn't had a speeding ticket? But to have a harassment charge and have it still on me till this day in 2024, that shit's still there. It's not going anywhere. To have no freedom to go outside and go where I used to want to go, wherever I used to film. And now I have to be careful because everywhere I go, she can go freely, but I can't. Because all she has to do is make a phone call, and my ass can get locked up even if I didn't do anything. You women don't want good men. You really don't. Now, I'm going to end this here. All of this shit could have been prevented. All of it. By two things. I was honest from the jump. I want a relationship. I want to fully commit to you. Right then and there is where she should have stopped it. I don't want a fully committed relationship. I don't. We can be fuck buddies. Okay, fine. We would have never had a relationship. I wouldn't have spent 2 years with her. I wouldn't have done all the things I've done for her. Wouldn't have. We fucking? That's it. Don't call me unless you want dick. That could have solved that problem right there. We would have never been in a relationship, and I wouldn't be where I am now, having to worry about when the cops are going to come because I spoke to her. Women do not want good men. 2, when we broke up, because we broke up every 3 days, you needed to be honest right then and there. And you women need to do the same. Don't play with people. Don't string them the fuck along. And you men also, do not string people along. Hurt people hurt more people. If you don't want to be with somebody, even after y'all fucked, it's a fuck. Throw that skeleton in the closet, get past it, and move on. Do not string that young lady along. And for you ladies, do not string that young man along, because somebody hurt this man. He's hurting you. And because he's hurting you, you're going to hurt the next man. And he's going to hurt the next woman. And this cycle never ends. Hurt people hurt people. You know where it ends? It ends right here with me. I will not ever hurt another woman because my ex hurt me. I will be honest from the motherfucking jump. And all I ever ask for a woman is to be the same. You want a fucking relationship? Is it going to be a fully committed relationship, a situationship, or are we just going to be friends with benefits? The ball is in your court now. It's not going to be the option of, well, let's see where this goes. No, that's not a fucking option. Those are your 3 options. Fully committed, situationship, or are we just fucking? Now let me explain. There's a difference between having a situationship and are we just fucking. Are we just fucking means I don't expect to hear from you from anything other than I need dick tonight. That's it. Situationship, we're going to set up a schedule of when you need dick and I need pussy. We can set that up. Every Friday, 9 o'clock. All right, I might be a little late because I'm working tonight, but how about 9:30, 10? You know, dick her down until 12, going on home. There's no emotions. It's just a dick and a vagina. Done. Situationship. Friends with benefits. You call me when you need dick. Don't call me for nothing else. Don't call me for no flat tire. Don't call me for soda or any damn thing else. You're on your own. We just fucking. I'm not your man. We're just fucking. You're fucking me and you're probably fucking somebody else too. And here's how I can say that and get away with it. I'm ugly. Alright? I'm ugly. So if I'm fucking you, I'm not fucking anybody else. Because no one else is going to give me a fucking chance to fuck them. Because I'm fucking ugly. Okay? I've been living with my ugly for 50 years. I'm happy with my ugly. So yeah. Now, here's how the relationship works. Relationship. You and me and only you and me. This is not going to be see where this goes. This is going to be fully committed. We are working on getting married and starting our life together forever. Now, if that's not what you want, then you have the other two options. Situationship and fuck buddy. That's it. But we're going to be honest about that shit. And this closes with women don't want good men. Because if they did, you wouldn't have just spent an hour and 17 minutes and some change listening to me rant about some fucking hardcore truths. Period. You wouldn't have done that. Because if women wanted good men, I wouldn't be single. I wouldn't be living with the fantasy and the prayers that the beautiful, breathtakingly, flawlessly beautiful, and dangerously sexy Zeta Zhang would give me a chance. Now, it's a snowball's chance in hell. And I am a glacier. So there's time. Will it happen? Probably not. But it's been keeping me alive. So there's that. Alright? And on a side note, if she has somebody, there's no way in fucking hell that I would ever break that up. Not me. Because I have had my home wrecked by other men who are pieces of fucking shit. And I'll say this one more time with my full chest. You women don't want good men. I apologize for how I said it. I do not apologize for what the fuck I said. I said what I said because it's the fucking truth. And people don't like the truth. Women don't like good men. They don't want good men. And they say that bullshit because when they have a good man, they throw good men to the trash like tampons. And then they go have babies with pieces of shit. And then later in life, they wonder, well, where the fuck did I go wrong? Then they try to raise their sons to be good men, but their sons came from pieces of shit. And yeah, their sons could be good men, great men. But they'll go through the same cycle that good men go through on a daily basis with women. I want a good guy, I want a good guy. I have 5 sisters. Do you know how many times I've heard my 5 sisters complain about having a good man? My baby sister's the only one that actually had a good man. She's married. She has 4 kids by this good man. The sister above her finally has a good man. But there was one too many tries between that good man instead of waiting for a good man. The sisters above her, one didn't really have a good man, but he grew to become a good man. But it took 4 kids and then 2 affairs with another person, but she didn't keep him. He recently passed. Self-delete. The sister above her had 1 good man, had another good man, had 3 children. The problem was, the first good man, they broke up, and she should have stayed with him, but she didn't. The second good man, drugs fucked him up, and his 2 boys are great kids, but, you know, they daddy. So yeah, my older sibling and I, we never got a chance to live because of everyone else. My brother has a good girl now. He had a wife. She was all kinds of Christian. Christians are probably the worst people that you can probably date in certain cases. Not all Christians, but this Christian specifically. I'm God's favorite. But yet, you lied on my brother, and I had to pay for that shit. Thank God for the Chinese cop that proved that there was no forced entry. And thank God for the court-appointed lawyer who proved that my brother does not have 3 fucking hands. So yeah, but she was Christian. She makes all of you Christians look bad. I don't have a religion. I believe in God, and I leave it at that. And I'm going to close out with one last time. I'll say it one more fucking time. I apologize for how I said it. I don't apologize for what the fuck I said. You women do not want good men. You want pieces of shit. You have babies with pieces of shit. And then you want good men to raise your babies to be good men and women. When the choice was yours to begin with. Stop fucking picking pieces of shit. Ride the dick, get the lick, and then ride that motherfucker right out your fucking house. These things save lives and prevent you from bringing people into this world with pieces of shit. Birth control, morning after pill, things y'all need to know about to keep you from fucking up your life and the life of an innocent child that you had with a piece of shit. Again, I apologize for how, H-O-W, how I said it. I don't apologize for what, W-H-A-T, for what the fuck I said. Hardcore truth. This is your 1,000%. 199.9, 9,000. This is your whole 1,000% of truths that you don't want to hear. Thank you for watching. I'm Echo Fan Grey Wolf, and yes, I am prepared to lose a few followers from this video. And if I lost you, that only means that you are one of the top 10 in the percent of the women in which I'm talking about. And when you realize that, you'll come back. The door's always open. But if you don't like the truth, this probably isn't the place for you. I'm Echo Fan Grey Wolf. This is Come Forever number 2. Be seeing you. I will apologize for one thing. I only apologize for all the cussing in this video. I do apologize for that. I don't apologize for how I said it. I apologize for what I said. Every time I dropped an F-bomb or a swear in this, I do apologize for that. Everything else, I apologize for how I said it, but not what the fuck I said. Thank you for watching.